My name is Michael, and I'm the Inside Communications Director for San Quentin. The contents of this episode include strong language and graphic descriptions of violent crimes that may include sexual assault. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to a very special episode of the Prison Podcast. Before we dive into today's conversation, I just want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to each of you who listened to this show. Whether you agree with the sometimes controversial topics we discuss or not, your support truly means the world to us. It's the reason we keep having these conversations and sharing these stories. I want to share something personal about today's guest, Jorge. I had the privilege of meeting Jorge in San Quentin, and his journey is one that continues to inspire me. Jorge's transformation, especially through his art, is a reflection of his resilience and dedication to change. But his story goes much deeper than just the art he creates. Jorge shares the meaning behind his son's name. His son is named after his brother, who was tragically shot and has been in a coma since 2013. It's a constant reminder of the pain and loss Jorge has endured, but also a testament to the strength and his commitment to keeping his brother's spirit alive. Through it all, Jorge has used his experiences to connect with others, especially young people, encouraging them to avoid the same mistakes that led him down a dark path. He truly believes that if he could turn his life around, others can too. It's a conversation I'm honored to share with all of you.
A prison in California.
This is Global Tellink. You have a prepaid call from
Jorge Ramirez.
an incarcerated individual at San Quentin Rehabilitation Center, San Quentin, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Hello?
Hi, Jorge. It's Diane Kahn. How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't even know why I'm nervous. I just don't, I'm not used to, like, the recording. Like, I don't know what it is.
I know what you mean too. I get in the same situation. So even I was talking yesterday at a conference with Eddie, who was inside, and he and I know the idea that what you're saying is going to be heard by potentially a lot of people is frightening. But I do want to thank you for donating your art to Humans of San Quentin. And, we're excited to have this be a part of our podcast. So since you do have an opportunity for people to hear you, is there any message or anything that you want to share with listeners?
So everything basically started here in San Quentin. A couple of guys are part of the arts and collections. They came with the idea for volunteer inmates that are willing to paint little canvases and basically raise money and help out the groups or people or organizations outside the community. So I was all for that. And so I was given 2 canvases, and I started my first one, which was the art of painting that I came up with was 2 hands of stone, and one of the hands that has hope with a little butterfly above it, and both of the hands are holding onto the barbed wire fence. And my message behind that is basically for myself and for a lot of us that we don't give up on hope, even though we are incarcerated, hope is always the life for us, to keep us strong. And for a lot of inmates that never made it back out to society who passed away, so always remember them as well, that, a lot of guys were doing the job and the work to go home and didn't get that chance. Mm-hmm. It's very unfortunate. But for me, one of the main things that I also paint that because it is stone hands, but it's a constant reminder that we are here, I am here, for taking somebody's life. That those stones are like also representing the stone what I'm in here for. It reminds me that I'm here, for what I committed a crime, and I don't want that my victim, which is Rocky, to never die in vain, his name be just forgotten. So it's a constant reminder as well for myself. And that was the whole reason that I took my time to painting, and my message was, just to everybody incarcerated, stay strong, keep hope alive, don't forget those who passed away, and also for those victims that we took away their lives. And this is why I painted this painting. That was the significance for it for myself,
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Just an awesome reminder of where you are with the barbed wire. And you had mentioned that one of your cellies had died. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, one of my sons is the older guy. We call him OGs, here in prison. He gave me a lot of advice, and I've never forgot about him. He gave me just so much advice, he'd been through so much, and he would always encourage me, stay strong, get in groups, change your life is never late. And he passed away from Hep C, his Hep C kicked in, and I always remember him because, sometimes you meet people in the most craziest places, and you don't think that they're going to give you the best advice. But he was one of the individuals who was very impactful for my change and where I'm at today, and I never forgot about him. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said, for me, what's important to always remember those that never made it out, because I always remember him.
And what was his name?
His name was Arturo, and he went by, everybody knew him by Shotgun.
Yeah, that's cool to be able to say his name and remember him. That's beautiful that you had somebody like that in your life. Tell me how you first got into art.
So I was incarcerated at the age of 16 years old. I committed my crime in 2001. I went to juvenile hall, and I recall my mom would always write me letters in Spanish, and I wasn't able to read or write in Spanish. My English wasn't that good when it came to reading or writing as well. So I collected a whole bunch of letters from my mom, and eventually it was a big stack of them. And I was just so embarrassed and shy, and my pride was getting to me, and I wouldn't ask somebody to help me out, so I finally had the courage to ask one of the staff in there, and her name was Miss Rubio, and I finally confessed to her, hey, I have these stacks from my mom, I can't read what she's saying, I'm kind of worried. And I remember she started tearing up, and so I thought I did something wrong, why is she crying, but now I get it, she felt sympathy towards my situation. So she basically taught me how to read and write. And then I finally confessed to my mom that I wasn't ever responding to her letters due to me not being able to read or write in Spanish. And she told me, look, you should have told me this a long time ago. So in the meantime, if it's okay, she basically told me, draw a little smile face or a sad face if you're sad, or if you're happy, and put it in the envelope and mail it to the address. She told me where the address went, and she was that way she wouldn't worry. So that's how I started. I remember, I would start doing little smile faces for her and little flowers, or little Virgin Marys, because she was very religious. And that's the beginning of my art, due to my mom encouraging me just to draw a little smile face so that she wouldn't worry about me. And I would do anything for my mother. I never drew her any sad faces. They're always happy. And I started doing flowers, roses, and that was the beginning of my art, and I just took off from there. Art was my therapy, my outlet, to escape, what I was going through at a very young age. And here I am now, able to paint, oils, do charcoal, pen, pencil. All due to my mom and the ability that I wasn't able to read or write, and having the courage to have somebody help me out. That was the beginning of my art right there.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. So how many years have you been in now?
In July of this year, I'll have 23 years in.
When's the first time that you can go to the parole board?
So my first board, my initial board will be next year in January. And I'm currently going through 1170 for resentencing for exceptional conduct, which I have court tomorrow, matter of fact, through video. So I'm extremely looking forward for that. I have my first court hearing. It's looking very good for me to one day have the opportunity to be back with society and my family.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, my family are still together. My mom and dad are together. My brothers are still out there. I have a sister. I am married. I have a beautiful wife. She's my queen. Her name is Victoria Ramirez. I have a daughter. Her name is Julissa. My son is Andres. And my wife is currently pregnant. She's 7 months. So I'm extremely happy to be a father. You know, we have a little boy, and it's just like mind blowing just to be able to, you know, bring life to this world and a blessing, you know, as a child, and be that father, you know, that I could be a role model to him and to the rest of my kids. Like, I just miss him so much, you know, like I see him like every other week. She comes visit me and brings my kids. That's where I'm at right now with my family.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And you have such a strong wife, Victoria, that's by your side and raising the kids and your family. You're so lucky. Do you have a name yet for your son?
Yes, we talked about it. So I'm naming him my first name, which is Jorge, and he'll be Junior the third. His middle name will be Francisco. So it'll be Jorge Francisco Ramirez. His middle name is due to my brother, Frankie. Frankie was 23 at the time he got shot in his head due to gang violence. My little brother is still currently in a coma since 2013. My mom takes care of him. My family takes care of him. So I want to name my son for my brother, Frankie.
Oh, my gosh. So touching. And you have so much trauma in your life. But like you said, with that hope, really seems to be a guiding force in your life.
Most definitely. Hope is one thing that I personally can never let go. You know, like, that's what keeps me going. You know, having my faith and hope is like the most important things that I have carried through my whole time incarcerated, you know, and try to like do the best that I can and just stay positive and focused and continue doing my groups. Educating myself was very important. That was the beginning to get my GED, go to college, you know, just be able to think outside the box and not stay in the same mentality when I came in, you know, breaking the cycle of violence as well. That's like giving back to society. And I do that by helping inmates in here. Part of the tour, so I talk to high school kids, talk to college senators. It's my way of making amends and telling my story, my experience, you know, that a change is possible as well, that we do commit crimes, but some people do change, and we deserve a second chance.
That's so beautiful. And I have something else I'm hoping that you can share with everybody. When I was in San Quentin the other day, you and I were able to meet face to face, and you're involved in a really wonderful program and had a little dog with you. So I would love for you to tell about the group or program that brings that in and the dog's name and everything that's happening with raising a dog in prison.
Oh, yeah. So Canine Companion started about like a few months back, like the ending of last year. It's a volunteer program. We have about like a total maybe about 15 inmates or 10 inmates right now participating in the program. One of them. It's a great opportunity. You know, with a lot of us were asked if we wanted to volunteer and be dog handlers and train these puppies.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Hey, we're back.
Yes. It's always a relief, isn't it?
Yeah, those 15 minutes go by so quick.
I know. It's always such a bummer when you hear her voice cut into.
You were asking about the puppy program here, which is Canine Companion. That's the organization that was given to us here at San Quentin. So we have a total right now of six puppies. My first puppy that came in, he was 4 months. His name was Templeton the third. He was so tiny. For me, it was like a first experience. Like, I'd never imagined I would ever be part of a dog program or a puppy program. Like, being incarcerated for so many years and getting those memories as a kid, being around dogs and puppies, always having them around my family. And I was just grateful to be part of this program. It's very meaningful because I feel like I'm teaching my puppy to do the commands and the cues, you know, are going to be helpful for somebody with disabilities or something coming out of the military. It's going to be very helpful. So that makes me proud that I'm part of this program. He's actually out right now. I call it like he got parole for a month, so he'll be back. He got parole before me, and I actually missed him. So that was my first time seeing him walk out of the prison. I walked him all the way to the front up to visiting, and it was kind of hard saying goodbye, but I know he's coming back April 5th. April 5th, we're having our first graduation for the Canine Companion. Artemis and Wendell, they're the first dogs from Canine Companion who will be graduating here at San Quentin. So we're all looking forward for that, and that's when I'll be getting my puppy back, which is Templeton. He'll be coming in that same day, so I'm looking forward to seeing him and spend 3 months with him and continue training him. So, yeah, it's an amazing opportunity that I'm part of, like, it's just the fact that you have a good puppy is just amazing. Like, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's just like one of the coolest things I could be part of right now. I love dogs. I've always had dogs since I was a kid.
Was it hard to qualify to be a companion to a dog in prison?
Well, so for that part, we got interviewed by Lieutenant Hobbs, who's very proactive with us in here. He's very helpful. He pushed for the program. He was one of the guys with the interview, along with staff from the outside, which is James. James was there, and they basically asked us questions. Like if we ever had dogs out there, and if a dog is sick, how do you know the symptoms? They ask when we're going home. We want to make sure that we could kind of be in the part of the program, and we're not leaving anytime soon. You can't be they want you to be disciplinary for you for a certain amount of years, that you're a programmer. Questions like that, and then make your decision in that same day, and you got to move down to the bottom tier, which I don't mind, as long as I have my puppy. But that's the process to be part of the program. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the time. It is always a pleasure to talk to you and also see you in person. I don't know, it's just being able to put my message out there, to the world that people do change, man. Like we really do, and we deserve a chance, to be back with our families and be productive citizens back in society.
I hope you enjoyed this conversation from Jorge inside San Quentin. I'm not sure what you took away from it, but what stands out for me is when Jorge says, people do change, they deserve second chances, and they deserve to be with their families. That really resonates with me, and I hope it inspires you to look at people who've been incarcerated in a different light. As we wrap up this special bonus episode of the Prison Podcast, I want to express our deepest gratitude to Jorge for sharing his powerful journey with us. His art is more than just a reflection of his past. It's a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of creativity. We hope his story has resonated with you as deeply as it did with us. If you haven't yet, be sure to check out his artwork on this season's cover. It's a beautiful representation of his incredible transformation. Thank you for being with us. Please share this episode, and above all, be kind to yourself.